Hey guys, it's Libbi and Tori here.
Where are you now that I need you?
So, most of you might not know this, but 2 years ago I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And so the purpose of this video is mainly to spread awareness because before I was diagnosed I had no idea what it was. And like a lot of people that get diagnosed don't know what it is, and this disease could be like a life or death disease. You could die if you didn't know what was going on. If I wouldn't have caught it before I did, then I could have actually died. So many people have died or been near to death experiences because their blood sugar has been really high and they didn't know what it was and stuff like that.
Now, Liberty's gonna get her phone and we're just gonna tell you what type 1 diabetes is, like, and some symptoms about it.
Dude, what the?
What? What the heck? Wait, open it right now.
Okay, so basically it's like when your pancreas doesn't work and it doesn't produce insulin. And also, let me just say this right now because because everyone thinks that you get type 1 diabetes from being overweight or eating
Sugar.
yeah, or unhealthy. And like it is not because of that. Like I did not want this.
Like so many people are at school are like, you're gonna get diabetes from eating
I
that. And
hate that so
I
much.
stick up. I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I get
hate when people
so
say
mad.
that.
I yell at them. Ugh.
And they always do it around me and then they're like, oops, sorry. And I'm like, that's not even like how it works. But wait, type 2 is like when you're overweight and stuff and like you do eat unhealthy, but that you can also, type 2, you can mostly like, you can take like pills and stuff instead of taking shots, and also you can like cure it kind of, I guess, if you eat healthy. But like no amount of exercise or eating healthy could like cure what I have because there's no cure for it right now. Let's hope that there will be one day.
I know.
It's mostly diagnosed in like young children from like 12 to or like 11 to 16 or something like that. But like anyone can get it. Young adults and children are the most likely to though. It's mostly caused by like a previous sickness that you had. Like anyone can get it.
This is the definition.
So it's an autoimmune disease in which a person's pancreas stops producing insulin, a hormone that enables people to get energy from food. It occurs when the body's immune system attacks and destroys the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas called beta cells. While its causes are not yet entirely understood, scientists believe that both genetic factors and environmental triggers are involved. Its onset has nothing to do with diet or lifestyle.
Yes.
So I hate when people are always like, if I tell someone, this happened to me the other day. I told someone, I was like, well, I have type 1 diabetes. And they were like, you don't look overweight. And I was like,
no.
Thank you. I'm just kidding.
So we're just going to tell you a little bit about her story and how everything happened, and then later we are going to interview some people and ask them if they know what type 1 diabetes is. So this is her story about this.
It was the summer of 2014, and so that was 2 years ago. And over the summer I would just like, I drank a lot of water and I would like constantly be going to the bathroom, and I was mad all the time.
Like on the road trip.
I was so mean to her like every single day. I'm sorry.
And those are symptoms of type 1 though, right?
Yeah. And also over the summer I lost a total amount of 20 pounds over the whole summer, and then like throughout 10 days I lost 10 pounds because since like, okay, so I'm gonna explain a little bit. So basically what was happening is my body was eating all of its insides, and so that's how I was losing all that weight. Anyways. So then it was like the first week of school and I felt like really weak, like I couldn't walk and I was so sleepy and stuff. And then it was the first actual day of school and I couldn't get out of bed. Like I was like, I'm sick, Mom, I can't go to school. And she thought I had the flu or something. And that's what happens to a lot of people, is they think that they have the flu and they think it's not a big deal. But then my mom was like, okay, fine, you can go to the doctor. Like when I was going to the doctor, I couldn't walk or anything, and little story here is when I was going to the doctor to cross the street, I couldn't even cross the street, and so I was in the middle of the street and cars were stopping and they had to get a wheelchair for me to cross the road.
I didn't even know that, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah. So I went to the doctor and then they tested my blood sugar and they were like, you're at 653 and that's really high for...
Yeah, the normal is like, what is it?
70 to 125.
Yeah.
Or like 150.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And like a lot of people that I know that are diagnosed, their blood sugars have been up to like 1,000, and that's like bad, like you could die. Anyways, so I was so high that like my blood sugar was so high that like everything was just like shutting down and stuff, and I would black out a lot and I didn't even know what was going on. And so I couldn't breathe right either, so I was on oxygen. And then so we were at our hospital, and then they said that they couldn't do anything else for me and that they couldn't help me, and so then they had to transfer me to another hospital that was like 2 hours away. So I went there and I had to ride in the ambulance, and and then she was getting mad at me because I wasn't answering her texts.
Yeah, okay, so it was like 2 days, and she said she slept for like 2 days straight.
I
and
did.
I was like, yes, and I was like texting her. I was like, Liberty, why aren't you texting me back? Like, I'm so scared. What's going on? And I didn't know anything. And I thought you were just like being rude. And I was like, I feel so bad now that I know what
I feel
like,
bad for not
happened.
answering.
Like, well, I felt bad now because I was getting so mad. I was like, really? Why are you doing this to me?
I never even got those texts, and then you showed me like your iPod.
Yeah, I was getting so sad, but
And then she found out.
yeah, I found out like the night, I don't know. I think it was you already in the hospital for like a night. And I knew like the second
Did my mom
day.
call you?
Yeah, my mom called your mom called my mom, and then I was just getting in the shower, and then my mom was like, come here, and I was like, what? And she told me, and then when I was in the shower, I was just crying so hard because I didn't know it was gonna happen. I was
so scared too, actually, because like you know how in the movies how like the thing beeps when you're like about to die.
That's scary.
Mine was beeping, and I was so scared. Like it was like beep beep, and I was like. And then like I didn't know what was going on because no one told me what was going on. So I was just like,
you didn't know what was going on?
No, at first I didn't know what was going on. Like my grandma, because my grandma was the one that took me, and my grandma and the doctor, when I was at the doctor's, they were like talking, and my grandma was like just like sitting there, and like the thing was going off, and I was like freaking out. I was like, and then
wait, so you didn't know what you were? Did you knew that you had it?
No, not at that point. And then like I found out later, but then I was like, do I have cancer? Because I thought I had cancer, and then
my gosh,
my grandma was
that's so
like,
scary.
no, you have type 1 diabetes. And I thought I was gonna die because like diabetes said I was gonna die.
Oh my
I was really scared. And I never knew about what it was. And then I remember the day when I finally got to go home, I had to give myself a shot before I could go home, so they like knew I could do it. And I would not do it. Like I was so scared. And now I give myself 6 shots a day at least.
And it's so easy, it seems like. But I remember I visited you in the hospital.
And I was barely awake.
Crying, dude. I was crying when I saw you. I couldn't like look at
I
you.
barely
I was
remember
so
even
scared.
seeing you because. And then I remember I kept seeing things because I was like passed out. There was this pillow that was standing there, and I thought it was my dad, and that's so sad because it wasn't my dad, and I thought it was my dad. I was like, Dad? And then I was like in the room all by myself, and my mom, she was like outside of the room. She was like, are you talking to yourself? And I was like, is Dad here? And I was like, and then I kept craving cinnamon rolls and apple juice. Like that's all I wanted.
That's weird.
But anyways.
And I remember how like skinny you looked.
I was like 70 pounds.
Oh my gosh, that is so crazy.
Before I went to the doctor's, because we had 3 days of school before like school actually started, and all my friends were like, you do not look good, like your lips are all white and you look like you're about to throw up and you're like all pale and stuff. And so I felt like I was gonna like pass out, so I went to the bathroom. Everyone was just like saying that I don't look good and stuff. And then, I mean, I made it through the day, but then I slept throughout the whole weekend. Like, I'm not even joking. I slept the whole weekend.
That's when you didn't answer, and I was like,
I know. You were getting so mad at me. I feel bad. So is what we're going to do today.
is we're going to ask people if they know what type 1 diabetes is, and we're going to see what they say. And they might say, oh, it's from eating too much sugar.
And if they say that, then we are going to educate them about what it really is.
Yes, and explain.
So, we were wondering if you guys know the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. So,
Do you know anything about
Yeah,
diabetes?
she's like my aunt, she has diabetes.
Do you know what type? Okay.
So I have type 1, and it's like basically when your pancreas doesn't produce the insulin you need for like the food that you eat. And then type 2 is more like when basically, I don't know how to explain it, when you're like overweight kind of, but you can cure basically type 2 by like, you know, eating better and stuff, but type 1 you can't do anything about it. And so we're basically trying to like spread awareness about type 1 and tell more people about it.
So sorry we didn't get that many people to interview.
We asked a lot of people. They all said they didn't want to be filmed, but from asking the people, they didn't know really what it was.
So we explained a lot about it.
It was really sad that no one wanted to be in the video, but I mean, that's okay.
We got one person.
So enjoy that one person interview.
And the girl that we interviewed was really nice. So you should comment down below if you watch this.
And also, if any of you out there are type 1 diabetics, you should comment below, or if like you know someone that is, you should comment below.
And comment if you learned something from this video about type 1 diabetes. So
yeah, we will see you guys next Saturday. Thank you so much for watching, and we love you so much.
bye.
Bye.